Good morning, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. I am live and I'm ready to perform for all of you. I hope you will join and engage with me. I know last night a complaint a lot of people had of me was that I was pretty fatigued. I was pretty tired. So hopefully I'm more alert and ready to rock and roll this morning. Hey TB, TB says hello Andrew. How you doing TB? How art thou? How art thou this morning? Somebody says you're chipper today. Well, I haven't gone to the gym because I got bowling this morning, and I had a cup of coffee, so I'm ready to go. Pizza Pasta's in the house. He's like, "What's up, big dog?" Ow, 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 ow. Not much Pizza Pasta. So I'm ready. I'm ready to face the day. I'm ready to rock and roll. Pizza Pasta says he's gooping today. If you don't feel like explaining what you're doing, all you gotta say is I am gooping. So hopefully I break 100 in bowling today. I think there's a good potential. Somebody asks, how many songs have I written? I've written a lot. And there's a lot of throwaways too. Somebody asks, do I have the lyrics written down somewhere? Not really. It's unfortunate though. Yeah, no, I want to create an album, obviously. Somebody says you should get a notebook. Yeah, I could go to a Staples today and get a notebook and write this stuff down. Somebody says there were some songs you used to sing a year ago, but you haven't sung them in a while. They were real bangers. I forget their names though. Thanks, TB. Yeah, if you can remember any of them, let me know. Somebody says, I was just thinking that, TB. Unfortunately, some of his best songs are lost to time. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Hey, Dave, how art thou? Fist bump to Dave. Dun, dun, dun. Some people say my songs are my best art, my a cappella nerd rap. I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative you feel that way. Mm-mm-mm. Andrew's greatest hits. So he says, do you have an archive of everything on the Cell Waters channel? Would you try to dig up some hidden gems? Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great to dig up some hidden gems. Somebody says, there is an archive channel with every video he ever made. Rusty has access. Where is that archive channel, guys? Where is that archive channel? I've never seen it, if it exists. Where is that? Some people say there's an archive. You might be mistaken. I think Rusty has the videos on his computer, but they're not on the internet. Yeah, I think he has it on his computer, but they're not publicly on the internet. I'd like for some of my classic videos to be public again. Part of the reason, yeah, especially the songs and the good performance art. You know. Pizza Pasta says he likes the video where I tell my mother she's stopping me from having a gay experience, then she freaks out on me. Yeah, it's a lot of people's favorite. Hey, Peter. Peter says, what's going on, big dogs? Not much, not much. So, what do you guys think about the war between Iran and Israel and the bombs that are going off? Do you think it's going to be the start of World War III? Somebody says World War III is incoming nicely. A lot of people thought the Ukraine and Russia would be the start of World War III. So we'll see. It's obviously a real mess, but TV says oy vey is all I can say. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's not World War III. Maybe in years past I didn't have a lot to live for, but now I'm optimistic and hopeful for the future. So somebody said, I don't. Pizza Pasta says we're all going to eat that nuclear blast together. I hope not. I hope not. It's been a pleasure hanging with you all. Would dying in a nuclear blast be quick and painless, or would it be slow? Well, I don't really know. Somebody says, Andrew, if the nuke is coming, can you go live so none of us will be alone when it drops? Yeah, I mean, obviously, as soon as I get the incoming nuclear missile text, I will go live for you. And I mean, I'm assuming some of you are in New York, and we could all get destroyed together, and it'd be really nice. So he says, "Oh, thanks, Andrew. You're welcome. You're welcome." That's how you want to go, watching the Cell Waters content or the Andrew Koloski content. Inpatients or cellmates to the end. On the Dookie bus with the other cellmates. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you want to be with me in your last moment of life. And the last words would be, Kylie, go potty, Kylie. Hey, Milky, how you doing? All right. Milky says, she's good. How am I? I'm doing all right. Getting ready to go bowling. And no, I want to retire to tell me the truth, and I want to be happy, chipper. A lot of people want the cringe and fun version of me back. That tell me the truth version was a nightmare. Hopefully, I can retire it for good. I call that traumatized CPTSD, Andrew. That version of me sucked. Somebody says, I'll be looking back at the mushroom cloud and I'll say, now that nuclear Armageddon is upon us, will you tell me the truth? Actually, apparently a few years ago, everybody in Hawaii got a text message, incoming nuclear missile. And they all thought they had I don't know, a half hour to live, and it was an error. Imagine you actually got that message. Imagine how scary that would be. That'd be frightening. Yeah, that's wild. Imagine you're with your cell phone, and all of a sudden you get like an emergency alert, incoming nuclear missile. Then you find out it was just a mistake and somebody made an error. Yeah, very scary. Somebody says no one knew their evacuation routes either. Somebody says, imagine somebody tells you the truth. In the last moments, it would be like did anybody ever play the game Majora's Mask? It'd be like you get the truth in the last 5 minutes of your life while Iran is nuking you. Dun, 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 dun. Should I go get a bagel? I'm kind of hungry. So he says, yes, go get a bagel. Go get a bagel with cream cheese. I think I will. He says, yeah, get that bagel. I'm going to get sesame seed too. He says, get an everything bagel. That's not a bad idea. Do you know what? Really is annoying? Carrying in cases of water. This might be the. Obviously, we all need water. We all need cases of water unless you drink from the faucet. And they sell 3 of them. 3 of those 24 packs. They're heavy. They're a pain in the ass to carry in. That's one of my favorite. Once I get the 3 24 packs in the house and I'm done for like a week or two, that's. TV says it's a bit strange to drink bottled water when you have fancy reverse osmosis water. Yeah, I know. Somebody says, drink the reverse osmosis. Drink the reverse osmosis. I guess so. Somebody says reverse osmosis has no minerals, though. It's not the best to drink reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis. So says, how about forward osmosis? Is that any good? I'm not really sure, TB. I'm not really sure. Hey, Horn Dog. Horn Dog says, "Good morning, Big Dog." Arr, arr, arr. Somebody says, "Reverse osmosis is great for sinks and dishwashers and sometimes plants." I'm feeling good on this rainy Saturday. Feeling good on this rainy Saturday. Getting ready to go bowling. Maybe I'll just. I mean, bowling's at 11, and it won't take me an hour and a half to get there. Maybe I'll just hop in my car and go somewhere. I hope to get over 100 in bowling today with no bumpers. Somebody says, "Take Poppy to the roller derby game." Somebody says, "Stream it on a car ride." Well, I think that might be illegal. Might increase my risk of getting into an accident. I mean, I could stream from the bowling alley. Somebody says, "How many people go to bowling?" About 20 people or so, depending on the day. I'm assuming there are going to be a lot more today because it's rainy and nasty out. Yeah, you got to drive safely. You got to drive safely. Am I a good driver? I guess so. You got to ask people who drive with me. Yeah, I've gotten into an accident before. Actually, I've gotten into a few. Um, Most of them were not with other cars, but I got into one with another car. I think it was in 2015 or 2016. So, Mrs. Andrew, you seem a little bit frustrated. I can tell. What's the matter? No, nothing's the matter. I'm all right. I'm just distracted. I'm browsing social media too. Somebody says, "Take a Xanax and go with Poppy to the roller derby game." Yeah, I need to give you my undivided attention. I got to give you my undivided attention. Somebody says, "Take a Xanax, get Taco Bell, and do roller derby." How are things with Poppy, they ask. I think they're going all right. I'm going to see him tomorrow for Father's Day. So I think they're going all right. We're going to get some Chinese food. Yep, that's good. Somebody says it might be one of the last Father's Day you spend with him, assuming he's not doing well. So make the most of it. I don't know if I'll get tangerine beef or shredded beef and broccoli or sweet and sour chicken or General Chow's chicken or I don't know. I don't know which one to get. So he says, "We listen to the Beach Boys now that Brian is gone." Yeah, I listened to the Beach Boys. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I did a lot of Beach Boys listening now that Brian is gone. I do. Somebody says, what are some of your favorite Beach Boys songs?" Obviously, the Pet Sounds album is pretty great. Somebody says, "You take Christine, your mother never hugs you. Does Poppy give you hugs?" Once in a while, but not really. It always feels weird and awkward when my parents hug me. Somebody says, do you miss Brian Wilson? He was a big part of your life. I didn't know him personally. He didn't know me personally. Obviously, his music really influenced me and inspired me. I listened to a lot of his music. But, I mean, it's sad he died, but a lot of people thought Brian Wilson would die in his 30s. He died in his 80s. He lived a long life. He did everything he wanted to do musically. So while death is obviously sad, he lived a long, successful life. He was sick for a while. And I think that's a life well lived. I think that's a life well lived, right? And everybody's saying, "Oh, how it's so sad." The legend, the person who inspired everybody is gone. So I think that's not really a tragic death. I mean, it's a death from being sick from old age. So while it's sad, that's a life well lived. Somebody says, "Do you think you're a lot like Brian Wilson?" Well, I'm not really music. I liked to romanticize Brian Wilson and his mental health struggles, and I liked people to think when they thought of Brian Wilson, I liked them to think of me. But realistically, we're not that much alike. I mean, we both have schizoaffective disorder. We both have mental health struggles. We're both artistic, but there's a lot of differences though too. Somebody says, Andrew, did you try cognitive behavioral therapy? Is it better than current? Oh, CBD, not CBT. CBT. Andrew, did you try CBD oil? Is it? No, I've never tried a CBT cannibal oil. It might be worth trying though. I take Abilify. Somebody says, rub some CBD oil on the cysts. Hey, Rusty, how art thou? Oh. It's a rubbing good time. It's a rubbing good time. We got Rusty Trombone in the house. Somebody wants the lizard tongue. Somebody says, I want to see Andrew take a bag of edible gummies. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Your Rusty was comparing me to Hulk Hogan yesterday. He says I'm like the Hulkster of social media content creation, right, Rusty? We're also saying how the professional wrestling industry breeds a lot of narcissistic, self-obsessed, sensationalistic megalomaniacs. But that's what you want. That's what you want out of your wrestlers. You want them all to be narcissistic, egocentric, sensationalistic, and megalomaniacs. Sensationalistic nudity. Sensationalistic nudity. It's what kind of, yeah. So I know a lot of people say I breathe through my mouth often, and some people say my sinuses are blocked. Do you think it would be a good idea to go to the ENT and have them? So this is who beat John Cena for his last match? I don't really know. Do you think they would give it to Ron Killings, R-Truth? I mean, that would be an interesting pick. I mean, I know R-Truth is in his 50s. Somebody says something is off with me. Do you think I'm dying? I mean, I don't really know particularly what's off. You think it's depression? I noticed something's off with me too. Um, you know, I feel like I'm tired. Maybe I'm depressed. Maybe I'm losing motivation. Maybe I need to get out and live life more. Maybe it's lack of sleep. Maybe it's too much exercise. Somebody says you seem off and on edge today. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the bowling will cheer me up a little bit. Somebody says maybe you need a bit of independence. Yeah, I need to. Maybe I'm in a depressive funk, or maybe I know obviously with hypochondriasis, you always jump to worst case scenario. Maybe you got like terminal cancer, but the bowling is going to be a good time, and maybe that will cheer me up, and then I'll work out after, and maybe I'll be back later this evening in a chipper, happy mood. Somebody says, to be honest, the last 6 to 8 months, you've been kind of low energy. They say you used to be quite energetic. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I think probably the problem is it could be depression. It could obviously be depression. It could be the Abilify 10 milligrams. It could be the exercise. Maybe I'm exercising a lot. Maybe it's the running. Um, maybe it's lack of human touch and love. I don't really know, but yeah. I'm aware I'm tired and depressed all the time now. So I mean, I got to really try to increase my energy. Somebody says maybe it's the excessive, you know, pleasuring of myself. I mean, that's certainly a theory too. Um, I always fear I'm dying. Somebody says, is masturbation good or bad for the prostate? I heard good, but anything you do too much, I guess can't be good. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna. I think. Well, why am I gonna go over to the bowling? So maybe I should try to cut out one of my walks around the neighborhood. Maybe I should try to sleep more, sleep later. So he says Dr. Garrett would have an educated opinion on how much masturbation is appropriate and how much is healthy. That's true. Mm-mm. All right, guys, I'm going to get ready for bowling momentarily. Thanks for watching. I'll try to be more energetic. I don't know. Somebody says leave Dr. Garrett in the past. His email and move forward, and try to get more energy. I don't know how to get more energy, guys. It's a real problem. I really lack energy lately. Do you think it's age? Do you think I'm getting older? Do you think it's the Abilify? Somebody says, I don't want to see you like this. It's very upsetting. Yeah. I gotta get more energy. Chiba says, the Abilify is too low of a dose. I know Abilify can cause fatigue. I knew someone a few years ago who was on less Abilify than me, and this person got a lot of fatigue from the Abilify too. So it's possible the Abilify is making me tired. I mean, that's certainly a possibility. Somebody says it's a combination of a lot of bad habits: the exercise, the walking, the running, the Abilify, the depression. You know, it's a combination of a lot of things. The lack of sleep, you know. Hey, Brandon, how you doing? Brandon says he's off his meds. Well, I guess that's bad. Pete Tapasa says, hell yeah, be a rebellious wild man. All right. You know what I need? I need a lady to cheer me up. If you don't feel... Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get a bagel, then I'm gonna go over to the bowling alley. Somebody says, take care of yourself, big dog. Oh, oh, oh. Can you bowl in shorts or when you put on a pair of pants? I think I'm going to wear shorts. I don't think it won't matter. I guess you can bowl in shorts, right? I guess you can bowl in shorts. I guess it doesn't matter. All right, peace out, guys.